An act of kindness can sometimes have unintended consequences. One person, looking to help a family member in a desperate situation, sells their beloved car for thousands below its market value. It was a gesture meant to provide relief, a helping hand in a time of need. But just 10 weeks later, that same car is sitting idle with a potentially catastrophic engine failure, and that act of generosity is threatening to tear a lifelong family bond apart. Our storyteller was very close with their cousin. So, when her son found himself in a difficult spot, they naturally wanted to help. The young man, with a family of his own to support, had recently crashed his vehicle while visiting home. Money was tight, and the sudden loss of transportation was a major crisis. It just so happened that our storyteller was considering selling their own car around that same time. It was a 2016 Acura MDX, a vehicle they had owned since it rolled off the dealership lot 9 years prior. It wasn't a lemon or a problem car, it was their reliable daily driver. They had been diligent with its upkeep, with most maintenance performed at the dealership and all recall notices addressed as soon as they arrived. It was a good car. During its last service, a mechanic had mentioned that some larger maintenance items would likely be on the horizon within the next 6 to 12 months, but they assured our storyteller that there was nothing urgent or unsafe to worry about. It was the typical forecast for a vehicle approaching a decade of service. Thinking of their cousin's son, an idea formed. They checked the going rates for similar vehicles on private sale websites. The numbers were clear. They could reasonably expect to sell the Acura for anywhere between $4,000 and $8,000 more than what they were about to offer. But the young man couldn't afford the market rate. He made an offer for what he could manage, and his parents chipped in a little extra to help him out. Our storyteller agreed without hesitation. The price was significantly discounted, a conscious choice made because of their relationship and his difficult circumstances. Before any money changed hands, the young man, along with his mother and brothers, came to see the vehicle. They took it for a thorough test drive. Everyone seemed pleased. Our storyteller was completely transparent, disclosing the future maintenance that the mechanic had mentioned. With all the cards on the table, the deal was struck. The keys were handed over, and the young man drove away in his new-to-him car, the family crisis seemingly averted. For 2.5 months, all was quiet. Our storyteller had moved on, likely beginning their own search for a new Subaru as they had planned. Then, a message arrived. It was from the cousin's son. The news was not good. The Acura's engine had developed a disturbing knocking noise. He'd had it looked at, and the initial inspection revealed bronze shavings in the oil filter, a classic and ominous sign of potential bearing failure. A dying engine. Now, here's where the situation gets more complicated. The young man had been doing some research online. He discovered information suggesting a potential recall for that specific model year, one related to connecting rod bearings. This was news to our storyteller. They had never been notified of any such outstanding recall. The car had been running perfectly normally when it left their care, aside from a minor ticking sound they had been previously told was not a cause for concern. They had no knowledge of any impending engine defect. The young man's message was respectful. There were no accusations, no angry demands. He simply laid out the situation and asked if they could work together to find a solution that feels fair. This polite, reasonable request sent our storyteller into a spiral of conflict. On one hand, the facts of the transaction were simple. This was a private sale of a used vehicle. It was sold, as is, with no warranty expressed or implied. This is the standard understanding for nearly every private car sale in the world. If this had